Hey beautiful people, welcome to my channel, The Thought Philosopher, where we talk peace of mind, mental health, and being your best self. Hi my beautiful people, welcome to another episode with me, Masia Nyanga, also known as The Thought Philosopher, and today we'll be talking about sometimes we are the problem. Thank you for joining me on yet another episode. If you like something, if you learned something, if I just entertain you, kindly like, share, subscribe, and comment. It would be much appreciated. And as always, let's get right into it. So sometimes we are the problem. Normally at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, there's this saying, oh, you see I'm cutting people off, no new friends, all that. But sometimes we are the problem that needs to be checked. And it's not the easiest thing to hear, knowing that you are the problem and you are the one who needs to change. Never easy. I have personally been in a position where I was a problem, but I was not ready to deal with myself. And sometimes that is also okay. But today we'll just be talking about some of the tell signs that should raise a red flag in your mind to make you start doing a self-introspect and ask yourself a few questions. One being, might I be the problem? So case scenario number one is where the common denominator is you. So if you find that different people or different situations all are going wrong, or there's an issue and the common denominator is you, maybe it's time to question whether you are the problem. If you have different people from very different walks of life all having an issue with you, different restaurants, different workplaces, different establishments, all seem to have an issue with you, maybe it's time to ask yourself if the problem is you. So these are situations where the people who seem to have an issue with you all come from very different walks of life. They don't know each other, no common interest, they don't know you from the same place, but they all seem to have an issue with you. So if you find that there's a waitress somewhere complaining about you, there's a bartender somewhere complaining about you, there's a supervisor somewhere complaining about you, there's a friend somewhere, there's a family member somewhere complaining about you, then it's time to sit down and ask yourself, am I the problem? So the second case scenario is where you're always in a bad mood, you're very pessimistic, and your vibrational level is quite low. So if you're always in a bad mood, you're always seeing the negative side of things, maybe it's time to ask yourself if you are the problem. I understand that life does have its challenges, but it's never 100% bad. So if you're always in a bad mood, you're always pissed off, you're always angry, always anxious, always worried, always complaining, then it's time to ask yourself if the problem might be you and not the world around you. So life has good days, it has bad days, it has ups and downs. But if you're always in a bad mood, you're always just irritated, anxious, worried, confused, it's time to maybe ask yourself if you are the problem. Sometimes our own perspective of our environment, our own perspective of our world is the issue. And by asking ourselves, am I the problem, then we will be able to fix how we see the world and consequently change our mood. We can't be forever pessimistic, but if you find yourself always seeing things in a negative light, seeing the worst in people, seeing the worst in situations, maybe it's time to ask yourself if you are the problem. The third scenario is bad things are always happening to you. You're always getting rained on, kids don't like you, animals don't like you, your things keep getting broken, you keep hitting furniture, you lose things. If bad things keep happening to you, especially on a small scale, like you get conned, you're losing money, just things that really don't make sense if you sit down and think about it. So if you find yourself always in bad situations, negative situations, things that you apply for don't come through, you lose things, just small issues keep happening to you, then it's time to ask yourself whether you're the problem. Nature and the universe is never against us. So if you find yourself just getting into weird, bad, negative situations, you're always unlucky person. Every time it starts raining, you don't have an umbrella, you get really rained on. Everywhere you go, you hit on something, you hit on furniture, people step on you. It's just weird small things. You're losing small amounts of money, nothing major, but just small bad things happening consequently. So if you find yourself bad things always happening to you and you're asking yourself, why are this small weird negative things happening to me, it's time to ask yourself whether you are the problem. Maybe there's something you really haven't dealt with and it's making the universe show you signs through negative bad things. So if you find that bad things are always happening to you that are clearly not in your control, like the weather or losing things or forgetting things or getting hit by furniture, by people, just strangers keep doing weird negative things, then it's time to ask yourself if you are the problem. Maybe there's some self-introspection, self-awareness that you need to do that will help change your overall situation. Then the last but not the least is people tell you you're the problem. So if people outright telling you you're the problem, then it's time to ask yourself whether you are the problem. And this once again is different people, different scenarios of life, completely different environments. People who don't know each other, have never met, don't even know they have a common interest within you, but they all seem to tell you you have a problem. Strangers, people who know you, somehow they all keep having the same conclusion about you, which is you are the problem. So if you keep hearing it more than once, then maybe it's time to ask yourself whether you really are the problem so that you can do something about it. And in a world of more than a billion people, sometimes we are the issue. I do understand, yes, sometimes the issue is the other person, sometimes the issue is the environment, sometimes the issue is our circumstances, but more often than not, we are the problem. So if people are outright telling you you're the problem, maybe it's time to ask yourself, am I the problem? And I mostly discuss topics which are personal, because for the longest time I was a problem, and as I said earlier, I really did not want to deal with myself, and the situations I've mentioned are personal. I was in the situations, things used to happen to me, and I'm like, why are these things happening? Or people would outright tell me, Mercy, you have some issues you need to deal with. So if you have found yourself in any of the circumstances or all of them, maybe it's time to ask yourself if you are the problem. And it's not in any bad light. Usually that question leads to such self-awareness that you end up becoming a better person or a worse person, but at least you know what kind of person you are and you're okay with that. It's also okay to be the problem as long as you know you are the problem and you're 100% okay with that. So thank you for watching till the end. Thank you for watching, and see you guys on the next one.